I'm Jose. I'm the CTO here at Mapped, and we're a technology company based in Los Angeles. We're backed by some of the industry's most awesome and amazing investors, those up there, and I'm going to give you a little demo of our product. And so about 3 years ago, we set out to solve a pretty common problem in commercial real estate, which is everyone knows that smart buildings are the future, but our ability to extract data from these buildings and be able to derive insights and actually make the smart building useful for building owners and for tenants has long been a challenge. And so we've spent the last 3 years building the world's first independent data layer. And what does that mean? If you're familiar with James Dice and his awesome podcast, he put forward a framework for creating a layered architecture, allowing smart building owners to be able to manage the full life cycle of your building. And so what we've done is we've built a platform that takes all of the messy data coming out of your building, including traditional building systems like HVAC, lighting, elevators, vertical lifts. We extract all of that data and we make it available to you in a normalized way. So that way, if you have a portfolio of 100 buildings, let's say, all of your elevators look the same, all of your lighting systems look the same, all of your Wi-Fi access points look the same. Because we started a little bit late, I'm going to skip a couple slides here. But James Dice, as I mentioned, has an amazing podcast called Nexus Labs, and you can check it out on his website. And in this framework that he's laid out, this kind of middle part in green is what he calls the independent data layer. Rather than kind of waste any more of your time kind of with slides, I'm just going to show you what our platform looks like. Great. All right. So this is Mapped. You can get started in only 5 minutes. So when you get back to wherever you're traveling from, you can sign up on our website. And within just a few minutes, you'll be able to connect a whole bunch of your building systems. Now, for traditional building systems like HVAC and lighting and whatnot, we provide a physical gateway. It can also be deployed as software, and it obviously needs to connect to all of the systems inside of your building. We have plenty of information on our website on how to do that, and we've really disrupted the industry. What normally takes about 3 months for a human to do, walking around the building and surveying all of the equipment and cataloging all of the points, our platform does in about 48 hours in a fully automated way. And so just to give you a sense of what the product looks like, once we've ingested all of the data for your building, we also automatically process any CAD files, floor plans that you may have, really in any format. And we use advances in machine learning and optical recognition to actually map out the building in 2 dimensions and 3 dimensions. So you can see here that in this particular building, we've discovered a whole bunch of equipment. A lot of these are probably lighting controllers. We have a couple elevators and things like that. And when I say normalized data, this is what I mean. If you've ever had the struggle of working with a BMS vendor or a building management system, you're probably aware of how painful it is to get reports from them. And when you do get reports, it's often just like a big spreadsheet and a data dump, and it's not really organized in any which way. And that problem is multiplied if you have a portfolio of buildings, because you probably have multiple building management systems, all kinds of mishmash of different vendors and firmware. And of course, you can hire an MSI to come and try to solve that problem for you, but there's still a human in the loop, and it's expensive. And whenever you want to make a change, you end up paying for that change. We've heard so many stories from our customers of BMS vendors and equipment manufacturers charging them $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to produce a new report or a new dashboard in their product. Those days are over with Mapped. We take all of your data, and within just 5 minutes, without any coding skills or deep engineering knowledge, you can extract all of the data for your buildings and then self-serve, create your own dashboards, have your data analytics teams produce insights, and we have a bunch of examples of applications that you can build on our website. Let me actually do a live demo here, because this organization already existed. So let me go ahead and log in to, yeah, let me just log out of this one. And what I'm going to do is, in our office in LA, we have, well, as you would expect, given the business that we're in, we have a bunch of gadgets and gizmos and like a really cool lab. But it's also an office that people work in. And especially post-COVID, we want to understand what the occupancy is in our office. And we tried all kinds of different occupancy sensors. We tried, VergeSense and Butler and camera-based ones based on Zoom rooms. And one of the great things about using our own platform in our own office is we've built all of these really neat dashboards for the team to understand like who's in the office right now and what the current occupancy of our conference rooms are. And because our platform smooths over all of the differences between all of these vendors that I mentioned, we had to build that dashboard once. And we tried 6 or 7 different occupancy sensing solutions, and our dashboard never had to change. And that's because Mapped normalizes all of the data coming from these systems to just allow you to focus on what you're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and just log in real quick and show you how it works. Great. So I'll just skip on over here to connectors. And so we call these connectors, and I mentioned a whole bunch of vendors earlier. We have a growing collection of about 50 cloud connectors right now. And then for on-prem solutions, we support about 300 different types of equipment across thousands of different products and firmwares. But we just happen to have Butler set up in our conference room. So I'm going to go ahead and add Butler. And I'll just really creative name. Alrighty, and so I'll go ahead and add that. And you'll notice, no coding here. All I have to do is follow the prompts here on the left. So it's going to ask me for my Butler login, which I had saved already in my browser. You would get this from your Butler administrator or just by logging into their portal. And I'll go ahead and save that. And what Mapped is doing right now, it's actually logging into Butler in an automated way, and it's extracting all of the metadata that Butler knows about your environment. And one of the things that Butler knows is that there's a space called conference room. And so, but because Butler doesn't have any other information about where this piece of equipment is located, we have to help it out a little bit. And so I just happen to know that this particular conference room is on the 2nd floor, and we also have to help it out. This is our actual address, in case anyone wants to ship me some wine afterwards. Great. And so, many of our customers, they'll want to start with just a trial of our product. And this interface is great because you get to pick and choose using these little checkboxes on the side exactly what data gets loaded into Mapped. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And within about 15 seconds, our platform would have logged into Butler, extracted all of the data from Butler, normalized the equipment, and also starting to pull trend data. So as the occupancy changes in our office, we'll be able to notify your applications or your dashboards in real time. So if it worked, cross your fingers, pray to the demo gods. Let's see. Yep, it worked. Yep, so here we see that, we call equipment, we call them things. So we can see here that we have an occupancy sensing device. Now, this is not a Butler concept. This is an industry standard. We use an industry standard called brick schema. And so we've normalized all the data coming out of Butler into brick schema. We know that this particular room is of a type conference room. And if I go here to get the precise data, you can see that there is, we have 2 conference rooms, and there's 1 person in each of them right at this moment. Now, if we had a little bit of time, I could probably do a Zoom call with our folks over at the office and prove to you that this actually works by having them, leave the room and come back in. But trust me, this stuff works, and it's super fast. You can clap now. Okay. Great. So we started a little bit late, so I'm going to try to wrap it up so everyone can go have a beer. in addition to like the amazing technology that we've built, probably the most disruptive thing about Mapped is our pricing model. There are no hidden fees. It's super affordable to get started. You all are actually the first people outside of our company to know this, but next week we will be launching a free tier, which we call our starter tier. It's not launched yet, but keep your eyes open for that. And you'll be able to get started with up to 5 buildings for free. After that, our basic plan is only $150 per building per month, and that's unlimited data. Doesn't matter if you have a 10-story building or a 100-story building, unlimited number of points, unlimited number of sensors. And these are all of the kind of cloud-based sensors that you can find. So they're Verkada, Envoy, things like that. Now, if you want us to pull data from your traditional building systems like HVAC and lighting and vertical lifts, it's our Pro plan. But still, no hidden fees, unlimited data, and you get 1 year of time series or trend log retention. So your data science teams or software engineers will be tickled pink because they no longer have to go to your BMS vendors to get reports and data dumps and email around spreadsheets. It's all live, and you should check it out. Well, thanks so much. Thanks for bearing with me through all the technical difficulties, and I hope you have a great show.